I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again. We're up about 30 feet off the ground, and that's where we're going to be spending most of our time today, ripping off 4 or 5 layers of old roll roofing. Then we're going to Wilmington, Delaware to visit a factory where they make new roofing shingles. And back here, once this is stripped, we're going to build a shed dormer. So stay with us. It's good to have you home again.
Sears presents Home Again with Bob Vila.
Meet Steve Perhotch, our roofing contractor. We've got a real challenging piece of work here, right, Steve?
Yes, we do, Bob.
Tell me about what you're removing right now.
Well, what we're removing here is basically 3 layers of roll roofing built up over a wood shake, but let me walk you through this and show you what we've got here. We've got a layer here that's about 15 years old, and you can see how brittle and sun-beaten it is, and you know, it really comes off easy. Then you've got another 90-pound roof that's, probably about 30, 35 years old, and it's really flaky.
The green stuff that we're looking at underneath.
Yes. Then you've got a black layer under that that's probably in the vicinity of 60 to 70 years old.
Amazing.
You know, and then we get down to the original wood shakes down here, and you can see they're really deteriorated.
So this little house, which is probably a century old, has never had the roof stripped. And under all this weight of tar and mineral that we're looking at, we've got the original cedar shingles. None of it's any good, right?
None of it. It's all bad. It's too many layers. It's a fire hazard. In fact, city code stipulates after 2 roofs you should have them removed, and if you ever had any problems with the building, your insurance could very well void your claim due to the fact that
you're not in compliance with the city ordinances.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case all around the country. It might be different in your locality. But here, it's very typical to see an old building like this covered up in roll roofing that's just been kind of rolled over the top, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and what you're saying is if you got more than 2 layers of it, you could have trouble collecting on your insurance should there ever be, God forbid, a fire. Hey, why do they call you guys Eagle Roofing?
Because we like to fly.
Okay, well, we'll get out of your way and let you fly on stripping this one.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Eagle's done an admirable job of stripping the roof, and my gosh, these guys are removing the rest of it over here. Ron, is this necessary?
Yes, Bob. We love to perform surgery on your building.
There's nothing left here. So, what are you prepping for now?
Well, you know, we're going to have a shed dormer both on this side and this side over here.
Yeah.
About 23-foot long shed dormers.
And the house is 40 feet long.
About 40 feet, so we're going to have about 6 feet on that end and 12 feet down on that end that we're not going to be cutting away.
And that's all that's going to remain of the original roof.
Right, the rest is going to be gone.
And look at this stuff. This is in fine shape.
Yeah, this is the old, look at this old sheathing. This is like actually 1x8s.
Yeah.
Measures. Some of them are
1x10s,
yeah.
Real 2x4s. And of course they were spaced this way back 100 years ago because they had wooden shingles on it. And this is good enough we could just put wooden shingles back on, couldn't we?
Yeah, if we were using wooden shingles, but we can't use them here in Chicago, and we have to use asphalt shingles
you
for
can't
fire
use them
prevention.
In most cities you can't do it.
So we're going to go over this with some exterior 5/8 plywood, and it'll give us a real nice solid base for our shingles.
Won't that add a lot of weight to these flimsy 2x4s?
Well, it's going to add a little bit of weight. And these are not that flimsy, okay? And in their normal conditions here, if you weren't going to insulate, this would be fine. We want to get some good insulation in here, so we're going to sister a 2x8 onto this thing here so I can get a full 6 inches of insulation in here and have a little bit of airspace besides.
Yeah. And of course, the steeper the pitch, the less load you're going to have on here, so that you would be okay. All right, so we'll insulate that to meet the code. We'll save this part of the roof. And then what, both sides just get into the dumpster?
Basically, we're going to come and use our Sawzall, our reciprocating saw, and cut these off. And then these are just like trusses, 2x4 trusses here. We'll be able to just lay them down, boom, boom, boom. And
it's interesting how they built this, because if you look up top, there is no ridge pole. All the 2x4s were simply butted together up there in an angled cut.
A little gusset plate. And
little gusset plate. And that's all there is. But anyway, I'll let you guys do your magic, and I'll get out of the way.
Kevin, come on, let's do it, guys.
That's the last one. Well, demolition is done up here. We'll be ready to start building a dormer, and that dormer is really like an addition. We'll have an area that's about 19 by 24, well over 400 square feet of new living space up here, a master bedroom with a walk-in closet and a fine bathroom. It's going to be great space. We got to break for some messages right now. When we come back, we'll be in Wilmington, Delaware, touring the factory where they make the roofing shingles that eventually are going to go right back on top of here. So stay with me. We're at the ICO Roofing Shingle Factory in Wilmington, Delaware, just a couple of hundred yards from the Delaware River. In the factory behind me, they manufacture enough shingles to roof about 100,000 average-sized U.S. homes. Let's get together with Henry Fear, the plant manager, and take a little tour. Hi, Henry. How you doing?
How you doing, Bob?
Now, what is this stuff?
This is a crushed stone with a ceramic colored paint on top of it.
And how are these used in making shingles?
These are the roofing granules that go on top of the shingle, give you the color, give the protection to the asphalt.
Okay, so this is what gives you the color on the roof and what protects the asphalt.
That's right.
Where's it come from?
This particular load came from Belmead, New Jersey.
Belmead, New Jersey. How much of it do you use in an average day?
Average day about 400 tons.
400 tons of it. That's a lot. And you just drop it into these storage holes underground, or what?
No, it goes down on a conveyor belt over to an elevator, then up and drops into the tanks.
Okay. Henry, what are the other basic raw materials in making roofing shingles?
Basically asphalt, fiberglass, and organic felt.
Okay. Can we take a look at the process?
Sure, inside.
So what's this over here, Henry?
This organic felt, Bob.
Just paper.
Just paper. Paper and wood chip.
Giant spools of it. What do they weigh?
About a ton and a half, 2 tons each.
There's nothing but the chalks holding them in place now.
That's right.
Get away from those. And then what are these big white rolls over here?
This fiberglass mat, Bob. It's about 70% of our production. The other 30 being in the felt.
So all shingles are made either on a organic paper felt like this, or on a fiberglass mat like this.
That's correct.
And you just said you're doing 70% of this. What's the logic?
Well, there's a market for both of them.
Yeah.
And the organic shingle is a much firmer shingle that are wind resistant. That takes the north and cooler and the coastline, and the fiberglass shingle is the 70% is the warmer southern climate.
So if you're in a cold and windy climate, you might be better off having organic shingles on there.
That's correct.
And right now you're making fiberglass match-based shingles.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is where the process begins.
Right. These are where the rolls are unrolled into the manufacturing line. This splicing table here is where they stop the one roll to put the other new roll on.
When you run out of one. But why do you have all the material going up and down around these rollers?
Well, Bob, you never want the manufacturing line to stop. So we accumulate enough in here that when we put the new roll on, that we can stop that, splice it on, and the machine doesn't ever know it. All right, Bob, at this point, the fiberglass mat, which gives our shingle the Class A fire rating, starts the process of applying the top and bottom coating.
Okay.
Here at the coater, the filled coating comes out on the top of the sheet. The excess goes into the pan. It's picked up by this inking roll, and the excess is scraped off by this scraper.
How hot is that asphalt?
About 490 degrees. And at this point, we try to put that fiberglass mat right in the middle of the shingle.
So that you've got a coating on both sides.
Yes, sir.
What's happening here?
You'll notice 3 different colors up there. We have a 3-drop blend. The granules are dropped out through these serrated rolls by a computer to apply the granules to the top of the sheet in the pattern color that we want.
Okay. And right now we're making gray shingles.
Right now, we would maybe be making a dual gray shingle.
Yeah.
And around here, Bob, this is a silicone treated tape that is put on the back of the sheet directly in line with the self-seal strip that goes on the top.
What for?
This keeps the bundles from becoming a solid block, and then the self-seal stick them
So
together.
that when you cut it into shingles and you stack them, they won't stick together.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Looks kind of dangerous in there, Henry.
This here is the in-depth system. It's a radioactive scanning arm for a computer to control the squeeze rolls of the coater to give us consistent quality time after time after time.
So the thickness is always uniform.
Exactly.
Great. And then you're starting to cool it with water here?
That's right, Bob. This starts the cooling section, and as we start that, we press the granules into the asphalt to the proper depth to make sure they adhere to the sheet.
Okay, so it's controlled along every step.
Yes, sir. Right here we're at about 200 degrees, and we'll start cooling it down until we get down to the cutter where we need it to be about 100 degrees.
Let's take a look at the cutter.
All right.
So when do they start looking like shingles?
Cut them down here at the other end.
What's going on here?
This is where the shingles are cut to all the dimensions, Bob. Underneath that amber roll is a cutting head that is another roll that has a bunch of knives locked into it.
So that all the different cuts are being made to the roll goods. And out of each section of roll good, you're making 3 shingles?
We're making 4 shingles.
4 shingles. Wow.
Then they come down here and they go into individual stackers. And they're stacked down here in 26 bundles, 26 shingles per bundle, and a 998 configuration. Drop down, out the timing conveyor to the high lug, over to the wrapping conveyor, and onto the pallet.
But at this point, we got the finished product.
We're finished.
All right, Henry, so this is the end of the line, kind of.
This is the wrapping machine. This will wrap 30 bundles per minute, puts the asphalt on the top seal, folds it over. Over in the far gluing conveyor, it puts glue on the end flaps, shoes fold them over, then the product's finished. It goes to the palletizer, and from there to the warehouse.
It's a great machine. I've carried plenty of them on my shoulder up the ladder. I know they don't tear apart. So Henry, how many shingles have you got on a pallet like that?
About 16 square, Bob.
A square is an area 100 square feet. 16 is about the average size house, isn't it?
That's right.
That's fabulous. You know, these shingles will cost us about $30 a square as opposed to close to $100 a square for cedar. So we're really glad to be able to use them. Thank you for the tour.
Glad you came by.
All right. Before we can put these shingles on our house, we have to put up the roof rafters, and we'll be doing that after these messages. Okay, now before we can build a roof over our dormer, we have to put up our dormer walls, and I'm standing on one of them. What we're creating here is really 2 shed dormers that are 23 feet long, so that we're going to end up with a fine second floor with lots of headroom. You might notice that this wall that I was just walking on looks a little bit unusual. The gray stuff here is actually drywall, 5/8 inch gypsum drywall with a moisture-resistant paper on the outside. Why would anybody be building an exterior wall with gypsum drywall on the outside? Well, in Chicago, they have some very special zoning and fire code requirements. Remember, they had a real big fire here back in 1871, and anytime you're building an addition on an existing dwelling that's, as we are, right on the property line, you have to provide a 1-hour fire rating between the new structure and any adjacent structure. Granted, there's nothing here right now. Somebody might come along and put up another building. You wouldn't want a fire that starts inside our shed to be able to leap across into the neighbor's house. Hence, we're putting up this fire-rated gypsum drywall. We don't have it right where I'm standing here, which is the corner of the building, because we want to have plywood on this exterior corner in order to brace it. This is the best way to brace a corner of a frame, with plywood. However, to provide the rating, we've put the drywall material on the inside. So it's a clever way of dealing with a somewhat complex requirement. Are we ready to put this up?
Bob, as soon as you're out of our way.
Thanks, Ron.
All right.
I'll give you a hand.
Thank you. Let's go, guys.
Got enough
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, push it out. Come on, a little more. More. Hold it. Back a hair. No.
How's that?
No, a little bit more. Hold it. Into you a little bit. Hold it. One more hit. One more. Hop. Right there. Nail it.
Okay, now the ridge pole for the new shed roof is a 2x10, and we're nailing a rafter end right up to it, another rafter over here. The other rafter ends already have a cut made in them, and you ready? We'll just nail them into place, both on the outside and up here at the ridge. Now it's tied into the peak of the old roof, and we're ready to fill in with the rest of the rafters here. All right, so they're all being put right onto the double plate, right over the inside stud, and spiked into place with 16-penny common nails. At the ridge, we're shooting them in place. Okay, and now we'll raise the second section into place. And it's shot together with the other one. We got a break for some messages. Stay with us. All right, Ron, we haven't got a firm idea of what this is all costing, but let's just go through what we've spent to date. How much was the demolition?
We spent $3,000 on demo, Bob.
Just $3. Right. And then the concrete work that's been done?
That was about $6,000.
$6,000. And then the heating and ventilating contract is out, right?
Yeah, he was out about $6,000 also.
$6,000 also. What about the plumbing contract?
That was $6,500 with no fixtures.
$6,500 just work.
Okay.
How about the electrical?
That was $5,300 without fixtures.
$53. And we spent how much on washing the facade?
About $1,100.
$1,100.
Yeah,
and how much have we spent on lumber today?
We got about $5,000 out on lumber right now.
Have you added that?
Yeah, it's somewhere around $34,000, I think, Bob.
It's about $34,000.
Yeah.
Okay, next week can we have a firm estimate for what the whole job is going to cost?
I think we can.
Thanks. We're about time. It's a wrap for this week. Come home again next week when we'll be putting in some replacement windows, taking you on a tour of the factory where they manufacture them right in the neighborhood, and we'll also be putting in interior partitions. Till then, I'm Bob Vila. It's good to have you home again.